Yeah, we're going to do a quick distance backhand clinic because backhand is my favorite way to throw, and it's the primarily used throw for all top players, and it's a throw that allows us to throw further than any other kind of throw. Okay, I'm going to try to talk as little as possible. I'm just going to go through some key points. Has any one of you been to a Deep in the Game clinic? Oh, perfect. Okay, so it's all new maybe. Okay, yeah. Before I start going through technique stuff, main message is supposed to be keep it simple and relax. If you try to force anything or try to just kill the disc, that will not help with distance. A good distance throw is smooth, and it's about timing, speed, and technique. It's not about power. Because, I mean, Avery Jenkins' arm is probably 10 times as strong as mine is, and I can throw further than he does because of timing and speed. We got the stakes out here. The first one is 150 feet, and from there on every 50 feet. The last one will be at 450, and the one way back there is just over 5. That's not one of ours, it just was there already. And the basket is pretty much exactly 400, just so you have a reference. All right, let's go through. Yeah, short basket. Yeah, this is not the perfect place to do this, but we have no options, right? Okay. So I want to start with some footwork, because footwork is super overlooked and really, really important. Footwork probably gives me 50% of my distance. If I would just stand still, try to throw with my upper body, I could maybe reach 350, and adding a run-up and a correct run-up doubles that. I just want to talk about the last step. How you get to the last step, everyone does it slightly differently, and there's no right or wrong. The way I do it, it's a 4-step run-up, just 1, 2, then cross behind, last step, throw. And the last step, many players do it wrong. I see so many players take their last step, and then they are in one straight line to where they're throwing. You do not want to be in one straight line. You lose so much power out of your legs if you plant in one line. If you watch all the distance throwers, and everybody can throw just over 500 feet, we all line up on the right side of the tee pad because our last step, if we're right-handed, our last step goes a good foot over to the left. This is the stance you want when you throw. You get so much more drive out of your leg, out of your foot, out of your hips, if you just plant more over to the left. Is any left-handed players here? Perfect, all right-handed. Perfect. So focus on that when you run up, that your last step is a good foot over to the left. You'll probably feel a big difference right away. And everything I say, everything I change of your form, it'll not just be like, oh, now you throw farther. That's not how it works. It'll probably get worse first before it can get better. And if you're playing,
get worse.
Huh? Can't get worse. All right. And if you're playing a tournament this weekend or next weekend, please don't try to change anything in your tournament. It'll be a disaster. So, what I want to do is change your form to a good base, so you can improve from there. And the improvement is made on the field and not on the courts. I've played thousands of rounds, obviously, but that's not where I gained my distance. It's because as a kid, I went to the football field and threw my arm out every day. All right, that's the footwork. Last step, out to the left. Also, when you're planting your front foot, you want to plant at least 90 degrees from where you're throwing. The last couple of days, I saw a lot of players plant slightly forward, and at that point, you're opening up your hips, lose all your lower body. So really make sure you plant at least 90 degrees. The farther I go, the harder I throw, the more I actually turn my front foot in to get more rotation, more power out of my lower body. Okay, quick to the grip. Grip is super, super individual, and there's no right or wrong. I recommend 4 fingers because all the top players use 4 fingers. for the reason that the more contact you have to the disc, the easier it is to control. For a lot of players, 3 fingers work better, and if you want to use 3 fingers, I recommend you to use 3 fingers. It's about what feels right and what's comfortable for you. For me, I use the fan grip, or modified fan grip, for every single shot on the course, except for my high-speed PD2s, the speed 12 with the wider rims. There, a power grip feels more comfortable. Then again, I know Avery, he power grips all his drivers. I know Paul Macbeth power grips all his rocks and all his putters when he throws them, and all his drivers. I fan grip everything, just because it's individual and whatever works for you, you should do. Okay, let's go through the arm swing. There's 3 key points to a correct arm swing. Number 1, this is for consistency and accuracy. You should keep the disc on one level the whole way, meaning the height of the disc, from here to here to here. It never leaves this line. So many, probably 50% of all players run up down here, bring it down, and then pull through here. Just keep the disc up here, because as soon as you take it off the line, your chances of hitting your point every time are not that big. If you keep it on the line, keep it on that level, you're going to hit that level more consistently. Keep it on a level. Next, keep the disc close to your body. Super key, and that's probably the hardest thing to do right. There's 2 ways to keep the disc closed, and one's right and one's wrong. You definitely do not want to pull the disc out here, because there's no power out here, because you're really round, and round will never be as powerful and quick as a straight line. You want to bring the disc close. What you want to avoid is not driving your elbow. It looks like this. Throw, and then you do this. You kind of go back, only rotate your shoulders, and your arm never rotates. And never bends. You want to bend your elbow like this. Bring it close. If I freeze frame one of my drives, right here, my arm is on a 90-degree angle. And that's what gives me this slingshot effect, where it looks effortless, and I can just do like this little move, and the disc will go 400 feet without it looks like I've even tried. Because of timing, and because I get my body in the position where my arm just becomes a whip or a slingshot. Drive your elbow, bring the disc close, then open up, and then follow through. The closer you get the disc, the faster you can be. Sometimes I bring the disc so close that I accidentally hit myself here, which is not good, but that's how close I want to get, just slightly before even touching myself. Also, what you want to keep close, left arm. Everyone does it who can throw far. On the hit point, left arm is straight and as tucked as close to the body as possible. The more compact you are on your release, the quicker you'll be. You can see that on ice skating. You probably heard that already. The closer the arms are, the faster they spin. Okay, keep it on one level. Keep it close. 3rd key point, the reach back in one straight line. If I'm aiming out to this first tree, I line up like this, feet angled. Reach back goes from here to here. It's a 180-degree line. Just pull it back, and then extend. So many play a short arm. You want to really reach back and extend your elbow. Arm should be straight for a split second. What you want to avoid, reaching back and then over-rotating. Your arm is still straight and that's all good, but again, you take the disc off the line, and then to bring it back and hit your line, you're not going to be as consistent. Reach back 180 degrees. I can reach back 180 degrees with my arm straight, and right here, this is not a full reach back. It becomes a full reach back when I rotate my upper body to here. Turning my shoulders from here to here. Really pushing this shoulder out behind me, like that way. The The more I get this move in, the more rotation, the more power, the more drive I can get out of my shoulders. And shoulders, hips, and legs is where you generate all the power. If you get this move down from here, bring the disc close, and then opening up, then you have a good chance on improving your distance. Alright, any questions for the footwork, grips, or the arm swing?
What's your wrist doing when you're getting your hip?
Okay, yeah.
Where's it at?
Well, first of all, I try to lock my wrist down as much as possible. Like my wrist is like really stiff, is that the right word? Stiff right here. And I only let it play like this much. No curling, and I especially want to avoid holding my disc like this, tuck it in. And then I've seen on super slow-mos, I bring it back, and when I tuck it in, I give it like one slight little extra kick in the end. But I'm really far away from thinking about that. It's just natural. And if a move for you feels super unnatural, it'll be super unnatural for a while. You just have to practice until you don't have to think about it anymore. Alright, let's throw. I'm going to do 2 demo shots. I'm going to throw PDs. It's kind of like a, if you've thrown the Thunderbird yet, T-Bird, Thunderbird, kind of like that. Pretty straight, a little faster. I'm just going to try to throw it about to the basket. First shot, I want you to look at that when I reach back, how I rotate my whole upper body all the way back, and how my arm extends for a split second. Too many players go here and never extend here, and they lose a lot of power. Okay, just watch my upper body and extension. Get it. Hit it. Hit it. Alright, next shot. Oh yeah, I get a lot of questions. Should I rotate off my heel or off my toe? Doesn't really matter. Because again, a lot of players do it differently. I know Paul McBeth, who can throw really far, he goes off his toe on most of his shots, only for full power drives, he goes off his heel, because off the heel is cleaner, is quicker, and it'll give you more power. I go off my heel on every single shot because it's natural.
But we all totally paid, like when you're on tour, are you paying attention to other players and how they're doing?
Of course. I've slow-moed all the pros just to see what everyone does and why. Yeah, so I plant, and then it's like a quick spin forward. Schuster does it like extremely. Plant and then goes wham, like really quick and almost 180 degrees, just goes all the way around. Okay, now watch my last step. How I don't plant straight, how I plant out to the left, and then watch my oh, wow. First, because at all the clinics last year with Avery, I always like to talk about putter throwing, because throwing a putter is what gets you a better player. if you go out to this course, I haven't played it, I don't know how it lays out, but probably if you would play a week or 2 weeks of rounds here with only a putter and then go back to your bag, not only your form will be better, but it will look better and you'll be cleaner and you can throw farther just by practicing throwing putter. When I grew up, when I started playing, all I had was a putter and a rock. Those discs make you learn, because throwing high-speed drivers over stable plastic, it just does the same thing every time, and if you're off angle, it doesn't really matter. That's why frisbee players or ultimate players are so much better at disc golf than disc golfers are at ultimate. Throwing a frisbee for most disc golfers is pretty hard. Throwing a disc for ultimate players is not hard at all. So I'm going to demonstrate 2 putter shots, and I hope I don't slip. Not enough room. All right, some trees. Get up.
Oh, get there.
Get down. Color Glow P2. Yeah, super on sale. So just an idea, I'm kind of scared of slipping, so I'm holding back.
Yeah, it's a little damn.
Okay, so let's do some full power drives. And I hope we can see the ground. I'm going to aim right over that tree, probably flip over, and I don't know where it is.
Holy shit.
Bye.
Okay, the distance contest in the desert, you get 15 throws a day. And you can tell that getting the angle right is super tough. And sometimes you can go a whole day without any good throws.
Did you do on your first? Did you get the distance on your first throw?
Yes. Mini and boss.
Was it first on first day too, or you
Second day. First day we didn't have any rain. And people think you want like as much rain as possible, but as soon as it goes over 25 miles an hour, it'll just drop again.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Jesus.
And of course, there's no wind at all, even a little headwind.
Master Commander.
Yeah.
You threw.
Easy putter shot.
First time.